The sky above the Deathworlder homeworld was darker than usual, clouds swirling like angry seas. No one in the galaxy had ever seen a planet so harsh and dangerous, yet the Deathworlders thrived there. Their cities were built into cliffs and mountains, protected by layers of natural defenses, and their weapons were designed to survive the deadliest attacks. On the edge of the system, alien scouts drifted silently in their sleek ships, scanning the planet below. They whispered among themselves about the strange signals they had detected, signals that hinted at something powerful awakening on the Deathworlder world. The aliens believed the Deathworlders were primitive, a simple people surviving in a brutal environment, but they had never seen what true strength could hide. High in the mountains, Commander Varric stood on a jagged cliff, his eyes scanning the horizon. He was tall, broad, and his presence demanded respect. Around him, Deathworlder engineers and soldiers moved with quiet efficiency, preparing machines that hummed with energy and weapons that glowed under the stormy sky. Varric's voice was calm but firm as he spoke to his officers. They will come, they always do, but they will not be ready for what awaits them. On the alien side, Admiral Tlora was laughing with her officers, confident and arrogant. They are only a small threat, she said, her voice full of pride. Deathworlders cannot fight like true warriors. They live on a harsh planet, yes, but that does not make them a danger. Her officers nodded, unaware that their arrogance blinded them to the truth. Unseen by Tlora and her fleet, small scout ships streaked through the darkness toward the Deathworlder world, gathering information that would soon prove the aliens wrong. Back on the planet, young Scout Kale was running through a canyon, his heart pounding. He carried a small device, the last of the warning beacons, a signal that could alert the galaxy if needed. Kale had grown up hearing stories of the Deathworlders' strength, tales of warriors who could survive impossible conditions. He knew the signal would be the first step in showing the galaxy that underestimating his people was a deadly mistake. Suddenly, a flash of light erupted in the sky, and Kale froze. The alien fleet had appeared above the planet, massive ships glinting against the storm. The ground shook as energy beams cut through the clouds, and Kale felt a chill. He knew the world was about to change, and the Deathworlders' patience had finally run out. Commander Varric's voice came through the communicator, steady and commanding. Prepare the defenses, but do not attack yet. Wait for my signal. The galaxy will see our power, but only when it is too late for them to stop it. The soldiers nodded, their faces hard with determination. They knew the aliens thought this was a simple world, full of simple people, but soon, every arrogant laugh would turn to fear. Above the mountains, dark clouds swirled faster, and lightning cut across the sky. It was as if the planet itself was preparing for the coming storm. Every alien ship scanning the surface would see only harsh terrain and think the Deathworlders were weak. But inside the cities, in hidden bunkers and caverns, the true power of the Deathworlders was waiting, ready to strike. Kale sent the warning signal, a pulse that raced through space, reaching allies and distant watchers. The galaxy would soon notice. But would it be in time to stop what was coming? Commander Varric turned to his officers, his eyes cold and sharp. This is only the beginning. Let the galaxy tremble, he said. And as the alien fleet drifted above, confident and proud, no one could imagine the force that was about to awaken from the Deathworlder world. The alien fleets above the Deathworlder planet drifted in confidence, their lights blinking like stars in the black void. Admiral Tlora smiled, certain that her empire's power was unmatched. They are nothing but primitive warriors, she said to her officers. Their world is harsh, their weapons are crude. They cannot threaten us. Her officers nodded, their arrogance echoing her own, unaware that the Deathworlders had been preparing in silence for years. Deep underground, the Deathworlders were far from idle. Massive factories hummed with energy as machines built weapons that no outsider had ever imagined. Vast armories were stocked with armored vehicles, plasma cannons, and hidden drones designed for speed and surprise. Every soldier trained tirelessly, their skills honed to perfection under the harsh environment of their planet. Commander Varric walked among them, inspecting their work, his face calm but his eyes sharp. Remember, he said, the galaxy thinks we are weak, but that is their mistake. Patience and precision will show them what true power is. Meanwhile, in the orbiting alien fleet, scouts reported unusual activity on the surface. Tlora waved their warnings away with a dismissive hand. Patterns of movement, simple drills, nothing more, she said, her voice filled with arrogance. They have no technology to challenge us, no strategy to survive the coming war. But the scouts could not hide the unease creeping into their minds. They had never seen a civilization so prepared for conflict. Yet Clara refused to listen, blinded by pride. On the planet's surface, Kale ran again, delivering secret messages between command centers. He marveled at the efficiency of his people, how every soldier, engineer, and scout moved like a single organism. The Deathworlders were not just strong, they were smart, anticipating attacks, preparing traps, and building weapons that could change the tide of battle in moments. Kale could feel the tension growing in the air, a storm that was not just in the sky, but in the hearts of those who underestimated them. High above, a strange signal appeared on the alien radar, a pulse that seemed almost alive. "Commander," a young officer said nervously, "there is a pattern here, something intelligent, unusual." Clara cut him off, her laughter echoing in the control room. "Do not be foolish, young one. It is nothing but their planet's energy storms. Do not waste our attention." Her dismissal only strengthened the resolve of the Deathworlders below. Every move, every drill, every preparation was hidden, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. As the days passed, small signs of Deathworlder activity began to reach distant worlds. Trade routes reported odd disturbances. Alien spies caught glimpses of strange machines moving in the forests and mountains. Rumors spread quietly through the galaxy, whispers of a hidden force growing in strength, yet no empire paid attention, and the Deathworlders' patience continued. They knew the arrogance of the aliens would be their downfall, and timing was everything. At night, Commander Varric stood on the highest cliff, watching the alien lights above. His mind was calm but full of strategy. Each plan carefully designed, each attack calculated. "The galaxy laughs at us now," he said to his seconding, "but when we move, they will learn to fear the Deathworlders. They will regret ignoring us." Lightning flashed across the sky, reflecting off the mountains and the hidden machines below. It was as if the planet itself approved. The storm above echoing the storm that was about to break across the galaxy. The alien fleet remained unaware, confident, and blind to the coming events. Meanwhile, the Deathworlders continued to prepare, every day bringing them closer to the moment when patience would turn to action. The galaxy had no idea what was coming, and when the first strike finally came, it would shake every star system. The Deathworlders were ready, and the arrogance of their enemies would be their undoing. The silence of space was broken by a sudden flash of light. Deathworlder ships, hidden for years, emerged from the shadows of the asteroid belt. Their engines roared like thunder, bright streaks cutting through the dark void. No alien fleet had ever seen such speed and precision, and their sensors struggled to keep up. Commander Varric stood on the bridge of the flagship.com and focused. "Attack in 3, 2, 1, he commanded, his voice steady. Below, Deathworlder warriors gripped their controls, each movement practiced 1,000 times. The target was a critical alien outpost, a hub of command and communication for the arrogant empire. If it fell, the rest of the fleet would be blind and confused. The first salvo hit, with surgical accuracy, plasma beams tearing through shields that the aliens had trusted. Explosions erupted across the outpost, sending debris spinning into space. Admiral Clara's voice was tense now, disbelief creeping in. This is impossible," she muttered, scanning her monitors. "How are they so precise? How can they strike like this?" Her officers scrambled to respond, sending orders in confusion. But the Deathworlders moved faster than thought, faster than fear. On the planet below, Kale watched the orbital displays, his heart pounding with pride. The Deathworlders had waited, trained, and now their patience was paying off. Each attack was calculated, designed to confuse and overwhelm. The aliens had underestimated them completely, thinking the Deathworlders were primitive, slow, and unorganized. But every strike proved them wrong, and every explosion in space was a message to the galaxy. The Deathworlders were not weak. They were unstoppable. The alien ships attempted to regroup, forming battle lines that the Deathworlders anticipated. Varric's fleet slipped through gaps in their formation, striking isolated ships and command centers. The aliens' arrogance turned to panic, their pride now a chain that slowed them. Even the fastest pilots could not match the Deathworlders' speed and tactics. Each Deathworlder vessel was controlled with precision. Every cannon aimed to disable before destroying, leaving the enemy confused and terrified. Admiral Clara's voice rang through the bridge, sharp and angry. "Concentrate all fire on them. Destroy every ship," she shouted, but her orders came too late. The Deathworlders had already predicted her moves. Missiles exploded harmlessly against empty space, beams passed through abandoned corridors, and command hubs fell one by one. The Empire had no idea that their enemy was not just strong, but intelligent, patient, and ruthless. In the chaos, Kale sent reports to other Deathworlder units across the planet. "They are panicking," he said. "They cannot understand what is happening." "They never expected this," Varric smiled, his eyes scanning the battlefield. Each moment bringing them closer to victory. He knew the galaxy would never see this coming again. The first strike was just the beginning, but it would echo across every star system, warning all who doubted the Deathworlders. Explosions lit the darkness of space like a storm, tearing through fleets that had once believed themselves untouchable. Alien leaders shouted orders that could not be followed in time. Panic spread through the ranks, and ships fled in disarray. The Deathworlders moved as one, relentless, precise, and merciless. By the time the dust settled, the galaxy had learned a new truth. The Deathworlders were a force beyond imagination, and the arrogance of the aliens had blinded them to the danger they now faced. Varric turned to his officers, calm as ever. "This was only the first strike," he said. "The galaxy will remember today, and they will never underestimate us again." In the distance, surviving alien ships fled toward their empire, carrying the news of a planet that no one had taken seriously, a planet that would soon shake the entire galaxy. And the Deathworlders waited, patient and deadly, ready for the next move. The galaxy was in shock. News of the Deathworlders' first strike spread like fire, and panic gripped the alien empires. Leaders argued and blamed each other, unable to understand how a planet they considered primitive could strike with such power. Every fleet on the edges of the galaxy readied for war, yet no one truly knew what was coming. On the Deathworlder homeworld, Commander Varric stood on the commandbridge.com as ever. Around him, officers monitored every signal, every movement in space. "We move now," he said, his voice steady. "They think the first strike was chaos, but it was control, precision, and patience. The galaxy still underestimates us, and that will be their greatest mistake." Meanwhile, the aliens tried to rebuild, sending larger fleets toward the Deathworlder world. Admiral Clora S. Pride had turned to anger, her arrogance replaced by desperation. "We will crush them," she said. "We cannot allow these barbarians to humiliate our empire." But her plans were slow, and the Deathworlders had already anticipated every step. They had prepared traps, hidden fleets, and advanced weapons the galaxy had never seen. Kale ran through the underground corridors, delivering orders to hidden units. He marveled at the Deathworlders' discipline, how every soldier and engineer knew their role perfectly. From the surface to orbit, every Deathworlder was ready, each move designed to outsmart the arrogant aliens. He watched as small strikes hit alien supply lines, cutting off reinforcements before the main fleets even arrived. The galaxy was beginning to see that the Deathworlders were not just survivors, they were masters of war, above the planet. Varric activated the secret weapon, a massive energy pulse generator hidden beneath the mountains. It sent a shockwave across space, scrambling alien sensors and disabling their fleets temporarily. Panic erupted among the aliens, their coordinated attacks falling apart. Clora screamed orders, but her ships were already in chaos, beams misfiring, engines failing. No empire had ever faced technology like this, and their arrogance had blinded them to the Deathworlders' genius. On distant worlds, observers watched in awe as Deathworlder tactics unfolded. Ships that seemed few in number struck fleets 10 times their size. Planets that were thought safe fell under precise attacks. The galaxy realized too late that the Deathworlders were not primitive, not weak, and not predictable. Every move, every strike was calculated to show strength and intelligence combined. As the battle raged, Varric spoke quietly to his officers. "This is the turning point," he said. "The galaxy will learn humility, and those who ignored us will pay the price." Below, Kale smiled as another alien fleet fell into the trap. The arrogance that had once blinded their enemies now became their undoing. The Deathworlders had patience, strategy, and power, and the galaxy could not stop them. Lightning cut across the stormy skies of the Deathworlder planet, reflecting off hidden weapons and armories. It was as if the planet itself was alive, supporting its warriors. Every strike of the aliens only led them deeper into traps. Every attempt to retaliate failed against the intelligence and foresight of the Deathworlders. By the end of the day, the alien forces were in full retreat. What had seemed like a simple battle had become a disaster for the arrogant empires. The Deathworlders had not only survived, they had proven that they were a force the galaxy could not ignore. And as Commander Varric looked at the horizon, he knew the final challenge was still ahead. The galaxy had seen their strength, but the ultimate test of their power was yet to come. The galaxy held its breath. News of the Deathworlders' victories spread to every star system, and fear replaced arrogance among the alien empires. No one had ever faced such a combination of strength, intelligence, and patience. Even distant worlds whispered about the mysterious planet that had changed the balance of power. Commander Varric stood on the bridge of his flagship, calm as ever. Behind him, the fleet moved like a single organism, precise and unstoppable. "This is it," he said. "The final battle begins, and the galaxy will never forget the Deathworlders." His officers nodded, faces set with determination. Every ship, every soldier, every weapon had been prepared for this moment. Above the Deathworlder world, the alien fleet gathered, larger than ever, desperate to reclaim honor and control. Admiral Clora-S' pride was gone, replaced by fear and anger. "Attack with everything," she shouted. "Destroy them, no matter the cost." But the Deathworlders had already anticipated this move, and their secret weapons waited to turn the tide. The battle erupted across space like a storm, beams of energy cutting through darkness, explosions lighting up the void. The aliens had numbers, but the Deathworlders had strategy, speed, and precision. Ships that seemed few in number struck critical targets, disabling command centers, engines, and weapons. Each attack was calculated to confuse and destroy the enemy's morale, leaving them vulnerable. Kale watched from orbit, adrenaline rushing through him. He had seen the first strikes, the traps, the turning point, and now the final battle. The aliens panicked, their fleets breaking apart under pressure. Even the bravest commanders realized too late that the Deathworlders were unstoppable. Every plan the aliens had made crumbled under the intelligence and foresight of their enemy. On the planet's surface, hidden artillery and orbital cannons joined the fight. Mountains shook, forests burned, and yet the Deathworlders moved with calm precision. They were not cruel, they were not chaotic, they were disciplined and relentless. Each strike was meant to protect their world, their people, and their honor. The galaxy had mocked them, underestimated them, and now it was paying the price. Admiral Clora-S' fleet faltered, her confidence shattered. She realized the arrogance that had guided her empire was the reason for its downfall. Every system she had thought secure was falling, and every ally had lost faith. The Deathworlders were not just fighters, they were a force of nature, unstoppable and inevitable. Varric turned to his officers, his voice calm and strong. "The galaxy trembles because they ignored us. They thought us weak, and now they will remember us forever." He gestured toward the remaining alien ships. "Finish this with honor. But remember, our power comes from patience, discipline, and unity." The fleet moved as one, striking with precision until the last alien vessel fled. The galaxy had witnessed the rise of a civilization that could not be ignored. In the aftermath, silence returned to space, broken only by distant alarms of retreating fleets. The Deathworlders had proven their strength, intelligence, and patience. Stories of their victories would spread across the galaxy, changing the way every species viewed them. No empire would ever underestimate the Deathworlders again, and on their harsh, stormy planet, Commander Varric looked at the stars, calm and proud. The galaxy had learned a lesson in fear, respect, and humility, and the patient and relentless, had shown that even the smallest, harshest worlds could hold the mightiest power. The universe trembled, and the Deathworlders had arrived, and this was only the beginning.